The Golden State Warriors have spent over a decade building one of the most recognizable identities in NBA history. Fast movement, off-ball screens, Curry's gravity, and the sheer brilliance of a system designed by Steve Kerr have defined a dynasty. But every dynasty reaches a moment when it has to evolve or collapse under its own weight. That moment is right now. After last season's frustrating end and a roster that looked far from championship form, Steve Kerr has quietly been crafting something bold, something unexpected, something that could completely flip the Western Conference landscape. And today, more than ever, it's becoming clear that this is not the same Warriors team fans have grown used to. This is a Warriors team built around a new plan, a new direction, and new stars emerging beside Stephen Curry. The arrival of Jimmy Butler and the rise of Jonathan Kuminga are rewriting the rules, and Kerr's blueprint is now surfacing. The NBA might not be ready for what's coming. When Kerr first arrived in Golden State back in 2014, he inherited a roster filled with talent yet never unlocked to its fullest. He installed a motion offense that became basketball perfection. But the NBA has adapted. Defenses have changed. Teams like Denver, Boston, and Minnesota have used length and athletic dominance to challenge everything that once made the Warriors unstoppable. For most coaches, that shift would have been terrifying. For Kerr, it was a call to innovate once again. What's emerging now is a strategy built on versatility, toughness, and a renewed focus on two-way firepower. Gone are the days of leaning heavily on aging players who relied solely on IQ to survive elite competition. Kerr's new Warriors are younger, hungrier, and more physically imposing, with Curry as the timeless engine keeping everything alive. The biggest indicator of this transformation was the decision to acquire Jimmy Butler. For years, Butler has been a symbol of competitive fire, grit, and postseason excellence. While he may not be the sharpshooter that previous Warriors stars were, he brings elements Golden State previously lacked: relentless defense on the perimeter, imposing slashing ability, and a leadership intensity that perfectly complements Curry's calm brilliance. Kerr knows that despite Curry's offensive genius, no championship can be won without a dog mentality enforcer who sets the tone. Butler is built exactly for that role. The Warriors needed someone who could challenge teammates, push the younger core, and take defensive pressure off a 36-year-old Curry. Butler isn't here to blend in, he's here to elevate everyone around him, and Kerr has embraced that fully. The second major shift revolves around Jonathan Kuminga. For years, Warriors fans begged for Kuminga to get more minutes. His athletic gifts were undeniable. His frame, explosiveness, and defensive versatility were exactly what Golden State needed when facing stronger and younger Western Conference opponents. And yet, inconsistency and limited opportunities slowed his rise. This season, that hesitation is gone. Kerr has decided Kuminga is no longer just potential. He is a core star. Reports suggest Kerr has been actively designing sets where Kuminga becomes the primary attacker off the dribble, using his driving ability to collapse defenses. No longer is he parked in the corner waiting for catch-and-shoot threes. He's being empowered to play free, to pressure the rim constantly, to become the dynamic two-way weapon many believed he could be from day one. The new plan places Kuminga not behind Curry or Butler, but right beside them as a foundational piece of the Warriors' future. What does this shift look like on the court? It starts with defensive identity. Golden State is moving away from small ball lineups that sacrifice strength for shooting. Instead, rotations now prioritize wings with size: Kuminga, Butler, Wiggins, creating a switch-heavy defense that can challenge bigger forwards in the West like Anthony Edwards, Luka Doncic, and LeBron James. Kerr has demanded that every lineup must contain at least two elite athletes capable of protecting the paint while still defending the perimeter. That means less dependency on aging veterans who struggle to keep up with speed and power. It means more responsibility for young legs to run the floor aggressively, forcing opponents into uncomfortable matchups every possession. Offensively, the Warriors are evolving too. Curry still initiates the action, still moves without the ball better than anyone on earth, still terrifies defenders every time he crosses half court. But instead of relying on a barrage of threes, Kerr wants fast breaks, mismatches, and physical drives to the rim. This allows Curry to conserve energy while remaining the most dangerous weapon in basketball. Jimmy Butler thrives in these situations, attacking smaller guards, drawing fouls, and slowing the game down when needed. That balance means the Warriors can finally adapt to any style instead of being predictable and easy to scout. In late-game situations, expect to see Butler controlling the offense with Curry working off ball, using his movement to disrupt defenses and create panic. It's a deadly combination that defenses can't fully prepare for. There's also a noticeable shift in how the coaching staff manages player roles. Chris Paul, should he remain on the roster throughout the season, is being prepared for a more specialized role guiding the second unit, giving structure to younger players like Brandon Podziemski and Tracy Jackson-Davis, and being the steady hand when the offense needs composure. Paul won't be asked to play heavy minutes every night. Instead, he will be used strategically, saving his veteran experience for the exact moments the Warriors need a floor general to calm chaos and secure leads. Kerr knows Paul's leadership could be the difference in close playoff games. Draymond Green, meanwhile, remains the emotional and defensive anchor, but the pressure on him has been intentionally reduced. Golden State cannot survive another season where Draymond is carrying the entire defensive burden and sparking controversy out of fatigue and frustration. With Butler and Kuminga stepping into major defensive roles, Draymond can play smarter, fresher minutes and focus on communication, rim help, and transition playmaking, areas where he is still one of the best in the league. Kerr is managing both his responsibilities and his emotions by surrounding him with teammates who can physically take on the toughest assignments. The integration of size and strength doesn't stop there. The Warriors have emphasized development in Jackson-Davis as a reliable interior presence, something Golden State fans have been begging for since the departure of JaVale McGee and a fully healthy Andrew Bogut. The goal is simple: no more getting bullied by bigger teams. The Warriors want to own the paint again, not just survive it. Kerr's messaging has been loud in practice: attack the basket, draw fouls, punish mismatches, and don't rely solely on jump shots to win games. This new plan has also transformed the locker room atmosphere. Curry, despite being the face of the franchise, has embraced the shift as a leader who understands the importance of change. He knows that continuing to dominate the league requires trust in his teammates and a willingness to pass the torch in certain moments. Butler brings a competitive fire that keeps everyone accountable. Kuminga now walks with a confidence that comes from being believed in, not just used as a role player. This unity is creating something special, a team that is beginning to sense their potential again, a team that believes a title is still within reach. Another key part of Kerr's strategy focuses on slowing the aging curve for his veterans. Klay Thompson's struggles have been emotional for fans, but Kerr is not forcing the issue. Instead of expecting Klay to return to his all-star form, the system is evolving so that Klay can thrive even with reduced burst. Catch-and-shoot opportunities will still be there, but he won't be asked to guard explosive point guards or hunt difficult shots. It's about preserving what makes him valuable while the younger, faster wings take on more athletic assignments. This is how dynasties extend their lifespan, by maximizing what remains instead of mourning what's gone. There's also internal competition happening every single day. Podziemski is fearless and intelligent. Moses Moody continues to show flashes of high-value role-playing potential. Kerr has encouraged both to push for minutes, knowing that iron sharpens iron. Every rotation spot will be earned, not given. The goal is to create a roster deep enough to withstand injuries, something that has haunted the Warriors in recent seasons. The most underrated part of the new strategy might be something simple: joy. Over the past couple of years, frustration grew as losses piled up, chemistry issues surfaced, and uncertainty overshadowed the organization. But with new roles defined, veterans respected without being overburdened, and younger stars finally unleashed, the Warriors are having fun again. That joy is the spark that powered their greatest championship moments. It's the fuel behind their iconic third-quarter explosions. It's the emotion that often separates greatness from collapse. Across the league, rivals are beginning to notice. Front offices see a Warriors team that is no longer clinging to its past but reinventing itself for the future. Coaches see a tactical shift that makes Golden State harder to game plan against. Fans can sense momentum returning, that feeling that anything is possible when Curry is leading the way. There is no panic in Golden State. There is preparation. There is belief. And there is a renewed sense of purpose that has been missing since the NBA Finals run of 2022. Of course, questions still remain. Will Butler stay healthy throughout a long season and deep playoff run? Can Kuminga maintain consistency and continue improving his shooting? Will chemistry with three strong personalities, Curry, Butler, and Draymond, remain positive when adversity hits? Kerr understands that no plan survives perfectly upon contact with competition. But that's the beauty of what he's doing. The system is adaptable. It's built to endure challenges. It's built to match the physicality of the modern NBA while still embracing the creativity that made the Warriors iconic. When you step back and look at the entire picture, the message Steve Kerr is sending is clear. Golden State is not done. This is not the final chapter. It is a new chapter that respects the dynasty's legacy while writing a fresh identity rooted in defense, strength, and rising stars. Teams around the league who thought the Warriors were fading into history may need to reconsider. This roster is more complete now than it has been since their last championship run. The balance of leadership and youth, skill and toughness, shooting and slashing, strategy and unpredictability, it all points to a resurgence ready to shock the NBA. So here we are, witnessing a turning point. Stephen Curry remains the greatest shooter who has ever lived, capable of controlling the outcome of a game at any moment. Jimmy Butler arrives as the warrior the Warriors didn't realize they needed, bringing a mentality that refuses to accept anything but the highest level of commitment. Jonathan Kuminga rises as the symbol of the future, proof that the dynasty is being fortified, not fading. And Steve Kerr stands at the center of it all, the architect orchestrating his most daring redesign since he first took control of this franchise. The Western Conference is loaded with threats. Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets still look like the ultimate challenge. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving have made Dallas a legitimate powerhouse. Minnesota's defense is terrifying. Even the Lakers, Suns, and Thunder have the talent to go deep into the postseason. Nothing will come easy. Kerr knows this better than anyone. But he also knows what it takes to reach the mountaintop. He has done it 4 times. And now, his new blueprint is designed not just to compete but to win. Curry's window is still open, and everyone in the building understands the urgency of maximizing every remaining season of his legendary career. This is the chance to secure a final championship push, one that could solidify Curry as one of the greatest winners ever, not just the greatest shooter. This plan is bigger than one player, bigger than one season. It's the rebirth of a franchise determined to stay among the elite, no matter how much the league evolves. As training camp approaches and preseason rotations begin to reveal more clues, the excitement will only grow stronger. Warriors fans have every reason to believe. The dynasty isn't dead. The dynasty is evolving. And if Steve Kerr's new plan becomes reality, if Curry, Butler, and Kuminga execute the roles that have been designed for them, the NBA landscape could be shaken once again. The league has spent years trying to adjust to Golden State's brilliance. Now, they face a much more intimidating question: how do you stop a Warriors team that has already adjusted first? This is the beginning of a new Warriors era, stronger, tougher, and absolutely determined. And as long as Stephen Curry is still dancing beyond the arc with that smile on his face and fire in his heart, Golden State will always have a chance to turn the NBA upside down.